Hey, Mac, welcome back. We haven't seen you on the podcast in a while.
It's been a while, man.
What you been up to over the summer? I know that we ended abruptly after high school basketball ended, and to be honest, content has just been slow. There's really not much been going on as far as notable things to talk about.
You know, it's been a busy off season, a busy summer. A lot of basketball tournaments, a lot of participation with tournaments on and off the res, and it's been busy. You know, we don't really talk too much about it. NABI's happened, some big tournaments in Phoenix, some in Vegas. So it's been pretty busy. Like I think the tournaments that had taken place is where like a lot of improvements made and all that among the kids, and some of the last games were played for some of the seniors that graduated this year. So it was pretty fun. We participated in NABI with the high school team, and it was pretty good turnout. A lot of tournaments. Nationals was one of them. Some in Vegas, the PSUA games and things like that. So it's been pretty busy. It was a pretty busy summer. It was between that, the high school boys, and then also for my daughter's team too. So it's been pretty busy, man. We've been all over the place, and it was a fun summer.
Yeah, it sounds like it. I know that I'd reach out like phone call or text, and you'd be somewhere, just doing the summer basketball thing. And how I guess as far as the other students or other players, has it been pretty popular still? I say that because I'm just wondering. Given the I don't know, maybe the cost of everything rising, I'm just curious to see if participation is still pretty high.
Yeah, it's been like, I think it depends on the tournaments. I think the national, the tribe athletic tournaments have been pretty popular, and I believe they said that this past year was like the most participation that had 4 teams and all that in the divisions, and they even capped it off at a certain point. So. And it seemed like the PSUA games for basketball, it seemed like there wasn't as much participation this year. It seemed like, I could be wrong, but it seemed that way. And I think some of the events that they had, like the volleyball and some other stuff, I don't think they had it this time.
Yeah, normally they do baseball too, right?
They had a baseball.
They had a baseball?
Yeah,
okay.
They had the baseball. I seen that, and then I'm not sure they had the volleyball though. Yeah, like they had an adults tournament. But yeah, it was a good turnout.
For the adults one, is it mostly young men in there, like 18, 19-year-olds?
Actually, you know what? I don't think it is. Like, I mean, there is a lot of participation for them, but I think it's like a lot of the older people, like 30s. I think 30s. I think the majority of them are probably 30s. I would think from what I saw. And I'm not sure who took it this year for the men's actually. But yeah, they had quite a bit.
Yeah, where was the Nationals? You mentioned the Nationals.
That was in Phoenix.
Phoenix. Oh, are you talking about the NABI tournament?
No, it was it's called Nationals, but I think they're it's conducted by the Tribe Athletics. They're called Tribe Athletics, and a lot of their tournaments are pretty good. And then some other ones too. Another one that puts up tournaments is Indigenous Hoops. They put up some tournaments too. And NABI's separate from all that. NABI's just the high school only. So this one was like all divisions from like 3rd and 4th grade all the way to high school, I believe. Yeah. So it was a good turnout. A lot of good teams from all over the place, and some of the teams you kind of recognize. You play them from tournament to tournament almost, but it was a good turnout. Good for everybody.
Did you see any standout returning players? I guess the players that you've seen in the past that are still not graduated yet, have you noticed any improvement?
Yeah, there's quite a bit. Like a lot of, it seemed like you see it more in the girls' division. And it seemed like, you see a lot of more recruitment for them for like colleges. It seemed like for than boys. That's what I noticed. Like this season, maybe it's not like that every season, but this season it seemed like there was a lot more recruitment for girls basketball this year, from what I saw.
I guess it's understandable to me. I think, given that the size requirement for the next level, and it just seems, at least from all the players that I've seen the past 20 years, there really hasn't been a whole lot of size on the male side of basketball.
Yep.
That could change, you know. It's funny. I saw a clip of I think it was like LeBron James and someone talking about height. Oh, it was Kevin Durant. That's who it was, and he was talking about how he felt that 6'2" is considered small in the NBA now, and he just feels that 6'2" players they just don't have a chance unless they're extremely talented in scoring and they know how to get around the big men to score. And I thought that was interesting because I guess when I think about it, 6'2" at the pro level, 6'2" is pretty small, given that like Kevin Durant's like 6'11", something like that, with the wings, like a 6 foot wingspan, you know,
7 foot wingspan. Yeah. Yeah. You had guys like Derrick Rose and like, what's his name that just recently retired too? What's his name? Dang, he played for Wizards. Dang it. He was only 6'4" too, and he was good. They were dominant. They had the hops and all that, and they just played. Their game was totally different. Like they were just quickness, and they had the hops. They could do it all, man. And they were crazy good. Man, I can't remember his name now. It's in my mind. Shoot. Yeah, he's pretty good though. But yeah, I think for girls it's more like skill wise, and they don't really need the whole lot of size difference and all that. So I think for them it's an advantage. But yeah, if you're under 6 foot for boys, man, it's gonna be tough to get into.
Yeah, extremely difficult. I think even at the pro level, I don't think there's anybody under 6 foot. Is there in the pros right now?
Under 6 foot?
Yeah.
Man, I don't know.
You have to go back to Earl Boykins. I think he was. What was Earl Boykins, like 5'10"?
Something like that. Spud Webb or somebody like that. Yep.
Going back then, but I would imagine. You know, I remember hearing a lot about Earl Boykins.
Isaiah Thomas, maybe was it Isaiah Thomas? Yeah.
For the Pistons.
Yeah.
Isaiah Thomas, wasn't he like 6 foot?
No, Isaiah Thomas. He plays for Celtics.
Oh, you're talking about the
Yeah, the new guy.
I thought you were talking about the old guy.
Yeah, different Isaiah Thomas. He was good.
Yeah.
He was pretty short, but I don't know how tall he was, but he was pretty good.
Yeah, I think it goes back to what we were talking about all year too. About I think the reason girls basketball is so popular is that, for one, all the North teams are dominant in the girls division for basketball. So there's this excitement around who's going to be the state championship. But when you go to the boys' side, it's really evident that height is a problem.
Yeah.
Especially when they go down to Phoenix and they play a school like Valley Christian, or who did Holbrook lose to in the playoffs? Was it Globe or not Globe? Florence.
Or no, Coolidge.
Yeah, Coolidge. And I don't think Coolidge was that much taller. I think maybe they had one player that was pretty tall.
Yeah, they had two players that were pretty tall, but yeah, they had a chance.
Yeah. So, I guess didn't you? I think you went to. You told me you went to. Did you go to Idaho?
Yeah, it was a tournament up there for. It was on the Nez Perce reservation, and that one I would consider it a big tournament, but the coach knew people up there and all that, so there was a tournament that we did too previously that Abby played in too. So
what town is it in?
It's called Lapwai. Lapwai. I'm probably saying it wrong, but it's on the Nez Perce reservation. I think the town next to it is it's called Clarkston, Lewiston, like right there in the Washington border. But
is it a small town like St. John's or something?
I'd say bigger than that, like probably like Sholo or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a bigger town. It's right on the river too, so there's a lot of it's kind of industrious type town.
Yeah, I don't really get around much, and don't really travel. I hope to travel someday, but I just don't have the travel bug yet.
Yeah.
I keep telling people the furthest I've ever been east is Albuquerque, and which was true up until a couple of years ago.
You went to like
Arkansas.
Memphis or somewhere, right?
Yeah, West Memphis, Arkansas.
Yeah.
Osceola to be exact, but
Hmm.
I think West Memphis is, well, I don't know if it's any much better than Osceola, but
Yeah.
it's just a different change out there in the country. And I guess when you grow up here your whole entire life and you just kind of live within the four sacred mountains, you just don't, you really have no perspective on anything else out there.
And that's a shock for a lot of kids like come off the res too. And I think just leaving the res and going into college and things like that is a whole thing that's for kids, you know, like I think there's tournaments and stuff like going out there further out it benefits them a lot, quite a bit. Like they get to see other parts of the country, and they had tournaments in Hawaii this past year too, and I know kids that flew out there and kind of that was their first time flying in a plane and all that. You know, it was a good experience for them. And there is another one coming up in May in Hawaii, and then there's some we're planning to take some boys down there and put a team down there and all that too. So it should be fun, you know, like things like that. You know, it benefit them quite a bit.
Cool. I know that my cousin Vanjie, she took her boys boys
they went out there too,
to Hawaii. Yeah. And I seen some not clips but like pictures on social media about that. So
yeah, it's good. Like club teams like NAS Soldiers and some of them guys, they've been working hard to kind of provide for these boys and raising money and all that. So it's good to see that. It's good to see that for these kids and just kind of get out there and see what's out there. You know?
Tell me about NABI. How did that go? Because I know that when we spoke with Nate earlier in the year, he mentioned the fact that it's for profit now. It's no longer nonprofit, and it's sort of I want to say maybe changes the vibe of the tournament, but because
it was like Nike endorsed at one time, and they had all this endorsements back then. But it was a good time. We had we did decent in the tournament. We could have done better. I think that if we had more time for preparation, all this stuff, we probably could have done better. But overall, it's more about the experience for us, I think, for the kids and all that. And the competition this year was pretty tough. I think locally for the teams around here, a team that took it, they were from Phoenix. They're called Young Guns for the boys. For the boys, they took it. The competition for the boys is pretty tough, man. I think more competition the boys than it is for the girls. I think it seemed that way. But yeah, it was good though. The team that took it's they're called Young Guns from Phoenix, and most players are from Phoenix. They had a pretty good team this year. They picked up a couple of the Manningly brothers who are their mom's originally from Delcon, and they live out in Phoenix. And I think they go to Sunny Slope. I think one of them schools down there.
Were they the ones that played in the state championship? Was it the 4A?
The 5A, 5 or 6A. Yeah,
I thought it was 4A because they played St. Mary's, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Yep.
We watched that on the podcast. Also, so.
Yeah, they had a pretty good team, so they were pretty stacked. And
you mentioned Young Guns. Was that the team that the two gentlemen from Seligman played on, or was that another team?
That's a different team.
Oh, it's a different team.
Yeah.
Okay.
They played with a team called Rocksteady.
Oh, Rocksteady. Yeah. Okay. Did you see them playing by any chance in any of these tournaments?
We watched them for a little bit. They played after one of our games, I believe. Yeah. I believe they played with Rocksteady. I can't remember. They might have played with their own team. No, they played with their own team actually. They played with the team from Seligman. I can't remember the name, but they actually did pretty good though. They knocked out a pretty good team. I remember that. And they did pretty good. They did pretty
What about on the girls' side? Did you see who? Do you know who won the girls' side?
Res Bombers took it again.
Res Bombers. Where are they from?
They're from the coach is from kind of like Flag area. But the girls are from all over. The big standouts were Sydney Benali that plays with them from Albuquerque.
She played in that tournament?
She played with them, yeah.
Okay.
Her and her younger sister. Then they had some players from Kirtland and Farmington that played with them. So they were like the big standout girls. And then Najon too. Najon from Chinle played with them too. So
okay.
they had a pretty good squad. They won it. I can't remember. I think the Legendary Elite was the team
Uh-huh.
they played for championship. I could be wrong, but I believe that's who it was, and they won by like 10 points or something like that.
Uh-huh.
It's a close game, but they pulled it away.
It's interesting that Sydney Benali played because I thought I heard later on, maybe or later on in the year, she had to. I read somewhere that she had to go to BYU because they were, I guess BYU is doing like some kind of summer thing for their basketball program.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember what that story had to do about, but
Oh.
anyways,
Yeah, she participated in there.
Uh-huh.
She did good.
yeah, I'll have to go down there and check it out. I haven't, it's been going for so many years, over a decade. I think it started in 2005 or something, or before
2003, I think they
2003?
said.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I've never actually been to it, so. But it'd be nice to go.
Yeah, that's
maybe
pretty-
I'll plan on it next year.
Yeah, this should be a good one. This should be a really good one. Yep.
Uh-huh.
Should be fun. But yeah, that was probably the highlight of that capped our summer pretty much. And my buddy Manuel, we took some boys down there and just had a good time, man. It was fun. It was fun, good experience for our boys, and especially our seniors, Jaron and Jaden Chilicini. So they had fun, man. It was a good experience for them.
Uh-huh.
Kind of cap it off their whole high school year. So I was glad they could participate and play with us in that. So
Mhm.
yeah, and just seeing a lot of these kids going into college now and getting a little older, and even my son too. Like it's different for them and all that.
Mhm.
So we're glad that we were able to be a part of their lives somehow in some way and all that.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, it was good. It was fun.
Wow, I know what you mean about that. I mean, it just seems, the older you get, the more just kind of outdated you feel.
Yeah.
So my fiance and I and my parents, we got season tickets this year for the Cardinals.
Yeah.
But on our way back this past weekend from the Raiders game, we stopped at Crystal Creek Sandwiches Co. or whatever over in Flag. It's by the Chipotle and the Panda Express over there.
Crystal Creek. Yeah.
Yeah. That place, from what my parents went to NAU back in late 80s, early 90s. So the way they described it was like the college hangout back then, very popular. I guess I'm assuming it's still like that with the current college students now, because I mean they have they don't have a bar per se, but they serve like craft beer there, and they have a pool table.
Mm.
But I remember we went in there and we were ordering the sandwiches and we sat down and I could see like the younger college students there,
Yeah.
and I'm looking around, I'm thinking, am I the only one that feels too old to be in here?
Uh-huh.
Because it just seemed like now that I've been working for so many years, no longer in college. College has been over for me for at least a while now, 10 years or something, and it's just, I don't know. I guess when you start paying your taxes and going to work every day, you kind of feel older than everyone else
When
in
you
college.
start voting and all that.
When you start focusing on the
Yeah.
political shit, I guess. But anyways,
I know what you mean, man.
yeah, season tickets. It's been so far. We went to the first two preseason games
Mm-hmm.
here in Phoenix. The first one, the Chiefs, and the second one, the Raiders. And I'll tell you what, it's difficult to be a fan because, well, I guess I think it's situational. It's different for everybody because for us, we have cows. My parents have a ranch just north of town
Oh.
of Joe City, so I usually take care of them, and my fiance and I we'll go after work. We'll go out there and give them water and hay sometimes, and every day. But it's just having to deal with that, and then drive down to Phoenix, go to the game, and then come back. It was just kind of hard to manage that, right?
Yep.
So
Responsibilities, man. Yep.
so the first game was against the Chiefs, the first preseason, and they sent us an email saying, be here, you want to be here at least 2 hours early to beat the traffic and whatnot. So I had already imprinted in my mind that you had to be there early, but it just kind of took longer than we expected to leave here. My parents were already down there, so we drove down, and it just taking our time, I guess. We ended up getting down there a little late. I think we didn't leave our hotel until about 4 o'clock, and we didn't get to the stadium till about maybe 4:40, something like that.
What time was the game?
The game was at 5.
Oh, okay.
So 4:40, and there's traffic. So they gave us the parking pass, right? And the only way you can enter it is through I don't even know what street it was, but they have a map, and you can only enter the parking lot because they have all these other roads closed. And there was just this big old long line of cars trying to get into the parking lot. I think what made it worse too was you could tell there's a lot of local traffic. I mean, if I lived down there and I knew the Cardinals game was going on, I wouldn't even go near the stadium. I would just drive somewhere else to try to get home to avoid it.
Yeah.
But instead, people were doing that, and we were stuck in line for ever. It seemed like 40 minutes.
Man.
We didn't get into the stadium until about 2 minutes before halftime.
Really?
Yeah, it took us that long to get in there. And it was just, and we got in there, and there's just it's just so many people, and I guess I wasn't really in a good mood because we were late, and it was hot in there, right? It was difficult to get, at least at halftime, it was difficult to get. All I wanted was a soda, and there was lines everywhere because they only serve soda at the concession part, right? But I turned around and I could see like where they serve the beer and alcoholic beverages, there was like no line. So if you wanted to get a beer, you could just walk up there and get one, no problem. But to get food or a soda, it was really difficult. I know they have like a little convenience store like section where you can get like bottled sodas, right? But I wanted a fountain drink, so we ended up waiting in line there, and I'm standing there in line, and there's probably about a minute and a half left in the second quarter, and I'm just watching the game on TV, and I'm like, man, I spent all this money just to stand in line and watch it on TV again.
Wow. That's crazy.
But we eventually got it, and we eventually sat back down. And that's the other thing too. All these stadiums, right? They try to cram as many people in there, so the seats are really close together, front, forward, and backwards. So there's people constantly getting up either to go to the bathroom or to get something to eat or drink or something. So the only way they can get by you is you have to stand up and let them by, right? I guess you could stay seated, but they might fall on you maybe if you did that. But yeah, it was just, my first experience wasn't that great, right? So a couple weeks later, the Raiders, we were more prepared for the Raiders game. We kind of learned from our mistake, and it went smoothly this time. We got there probably we were in the stadium at least an hour early. So at that point, it was partially, it was people at least for that game, people were trekking in very slowly. I remember sitting down and maybe about 15, 20 minutes to kick off and looking around the bowl and just noticing how not full it was. And I was thinking, man, I guess it's not going to be that big of a game or that big of an event. Because I was told by a friend of mine who also went to the game, the Chiefs game that is, that she felt that it was the most people that she's seen at a preseason game before. In that game, the Chiefs game was basically full, probably like 98% full, something like that.
Some
right?
Big names playing.
So we're sitting there, and I can see that, and Raiders fans everywhere. They got a dedicated fan base. You and I were talking before the podcast about our experience over there. It's just, the Raiders, they let it be known that they're Raiders fans. They show up.
Yep.
And yeah, it seemed like every fan, when someone would start the Raiders chant or whatever, they start saying Raiders, and then everyone would just start picking it up, and all of a sudden everyone's shouting that, So what was cool is they had a lot of good costumes. There was a guy that showed up as Darth Maul, like a Raiders Darth Maul. Yeah. Some guy had this, he was wearing a top hat, but he had this, I don't know, he built this mask type of thing for him. It looked really cool. There was another guy that's the Riddler. He dressed up as the Riddler,
Oh,
but
yeah?
but his suit is the Raiders
Black.
logo,
Oh, really?
like a repeating Raiders logo pattern for his suit, and he had his his
Instead of
little,
like the question marks, they have the Raider.
yeah
Raider.
yeah,
Oh,
and had
nice.
a bowler hat
Uh-huh.
that was had Raiders on there, you know, and he was like handing out. I think he had like cards made out, so he must be someone that's sort of like social media famous or something. But he was
Yeah.
like handing people because people want to take pictures with him.
Yeah.
You know, so he was like handing out those cards and everything. It was just really cool.
Yep.
And you know what's nice about the Raiders, I guess, is they have I guess it's easy to dress up for that. But the Cardinals, it's like our mascot's a cardinal. So
It's a bird.
So
What do you
it's a
do for a
bird.
bird,
Yeah, what do you
man?
do for a
Yeah.
bird? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So anyhow, I noticed this too, that I know it's a preseason game and a lot of people really don't like preseason games simply because they don't matter. Right. But I noticed that I believe a lot of Raiders fans in Phoenix, that was probably, you know, their only chance to see the Raiders until they come back or they travel to Las Vegas to see them, I guess. Right.
Yeah.
So a lot of people came out to see it, and
good.
it was really cool to see. And I want to say right about halftime was when it finally got full. It was probably about the same as the Chiefs. It was probably like 95% full, something like that. You could find some empty seats, but for the most part, it was pretty full in there.
That's good.
Yeah.
The Cardinals won that game too on 2010. What was the Chiefs game? What was the score now that game?
It was like 7 to 30 something, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't too great. Or was it close? No. They beat the Chiefs. I'm sorry.
beat the
I'm thinking of the Broncos.
Oh, okay.
The Cardinals lost to the Broncos like 7 to 30 or something.
Oh.
30 or something like that.
You didn't see Taylor Swift in the crowd or anything?
No, I didn't. If she was there, I heard they put her like in a popcorn machine. They like sneak her into the stadium or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Uh-huh. But anyhow, yeah, it's so far it's been a neat experience, and we're excited for the regular to actually go to a game that actually matters, right?
Who do you play first?
Their first game it's an away game. It's against the Saints in New Orleans. The Cardinals are favored by 6.5 points.
Yeah, Saints ain't really.
Yeah,
They got them at the bottom this season.
Yeah, well, their problem is that their quarterback retired. I think he had like a devastating shoulder injury again, and he required surgery, and he just was like, didn't want to do it, so he just retired.
Guess who's a Saints fan? Tosh.
Oh, really?
Tosh is a Saints fan.
Saints?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
He was all about Drew Brees, man. So he retired, so. Yeah.
Oh, I bet she couldn't
I
couldn't
just
tell me who Drew Brees played
I just
for.
had to throw that out there.
I bet she couldn't tell me who Drew Brees played for before the Saints.
Yeah, you can ask.
Yeah, and then they got their first home game after that against the Panthers
Uh-huh.
in Phoenix. We're excited to go see that. Following that game, they play not the 49ers. Did I say the 40? Yeah, it's the 40. I think it's the 49ers in San Francisco.
Oh, seriously?
And then a few days after that, they have the Seahawks on Thursday Night Football.
Thursday night game?
And I believe that game, the Thursday night game, is when the Cardinals are going to be wearing their new rivalry jerseys. So they finally they revealed it today on social media.
Mm-hmm.
It looks pretty cool. It's like a sandblasted white color, really neat pattern. I want to buy one. I believe they're not going on sale till that day. So I want to buy one when I go to the stadium.
I gotta see that.
Yeah, all the teams have one. I think they selected some in the NFC, and I know the NFC West. Maybe they selected it by division or by division. So I think the NFC West did the rivals jerseys, and I think the AFC, maybe the AFC North, because whichever division the Bills is in, I think that's the AFC North. They also got the rivals division, the rivals jersey upgrade for that.
Wow.
For this year.
You said it's a sand color?
Yeah, it's like a sandblasted white.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Sandblasted because it
Yeah, they have
the
a
storms they have.
yeah they
Just
have
kidding.
they have a
The
color
Haboom.
yeah they have a color palette that they designed the jersey off of. One of them was like this the white clay that's can be found in Arizona. Another one was the copper, obviously, because we're
really?
a copper state. Another being like the color, I think reddish orange for the sunsets here in Arizona.
Oh, really?
Uh
Have they ever done any like native type designs or anything for Cardinals?
huh. Not the Cardinals, just the Phoenix Suns.
Yeah.
Uh huh.
I wonder why they don't put it into like the football or anything like that. I seen like the OKC. Did you see the OKC jerseys they're coming out too this year?
No, I
It's
haven't.
got like a native print.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not really too sure. I mean, the only Native American stuff I remember seeing was just the Redskins. Just kidding. Yeah, I don't really know why. It seems like right now the NFL is focusing on LGBTQ issues. I know they had like the male cheerleaders. Did you see?
Oh, yeah, I seen that. Yeah.
yeah.
Cowboys.
Uh-huh.
Cowboys the first ones with the.
Yeah. So there's sort of I don't really pay attention to that stuff, but it's a big deal to some
Yeah.
people, I guess. So,
Um,
anyways, yeah, I guess it's up to the NFL who they want to reach out to, and I mean, I don't really understand, what their business strategy really is, but their business strategy is to make money and to raise
Yeah.
prices. So, it's getting ridiculous too. It's like, remember, everyone was for streaming because it was supposed to be less expensive than cable and satellite. And now it's like, at the very least, the same price as cable was or satellite or
Yep.
more expensive.
just more subscriptions now.
And and it's got to the point where
Yeah.
it's just subscription. It seems like everybody, I think once everyone realized how good of an idea Netflix was, all of a sudden production companies like HBO, they were thinking, why should we give our content to Netflix and let them make all this money when we can just do it ourselves
Yep.
and provide a subscription service? And so they made one, and then Showtime made one, Cinemax made one. Now you have Disney,
YouTube.
YouTube.
YouTube had the
Amblin.
NFL Pass,
Oh.
right? Did they have it again this year?
Yeah, YouTube TV has the NFL Sunday ticket, and that's the only reason why I even got YouTube TV was for that.
How much is the NFL ticket now?
There's two prices for it. If you just buy the NFL Sunday ticket by itself, I think it's like $500.
Damn.
But if you buy their basic cable package, then I think it's like $100. It's like $400. So I guess it's not like a huge discount to
I
do
just
it.
remember like back in the day when you would like get new, like DirecTV, whatever you do a new contract, whatever, and they would throw in like
Throw like an whole
throw
Sunday
in a
ticket.
Sunday ticket or something like that, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Or some UFC fights or something like that too. But
Uh-huh.
yeah, those days are over though.
Yeah, it's gotten bad. Like, I would love to order UFC pay-per-view, but the way their model's set up, where you have to subscribe to ESPN Plus.
They changed it now.
They changed it?
They sold it to Paramount.
Oh, Paramount. Okay.
Paramount. So now if you have Paramount, you can view the upcoming fights. now.
Okay, but it's right. It's no
The
longer.
pay-per-view fights.
It's
They
no
bought
longer
them.
a pay-per-view, right? It's just shown
Yeah,
on Paramount, right?
yep. That's what I understand. Yeah.
Uh-huh. I like the old model where there was the pay-per-view model, because I don't follow UFC that much, so I guess I'm not willing to pay a subscription to just have it all the time, because
Yeah.
it doesn't really interest me to that degree. But like, here's an example. Canelo, he's fighting. I can't remember who he's fighting, but I believe that's going to be on Netflix.
Yep.
And when I heard that it was going to be on Netflix, I think it's Bernard Hopkins. No.
Yes, yeah.
Is it Bernard Hopkins?
I believe it is. Yep.
Or is Bernard Hopkins like a classic boxer from the 90s or the 80s? I can't remember his name. If it's Bernard Hopkins, if that's incorrect, then don't make fun of me. But anyways, he's
Crawford.
Terrence Crawford.
Terrence
Okay,
Crawford.
yes, Terrence. Somehow I made Canelo go back in time to fight Bernard Hopkins. When I found out it was on Netflix, I was just disappointed, because all it's going to do is just crash the server. It's going to make the subscription or the feed really choppy, and it's just going to be a terrible experience because everybody who's not a boxing fan is just going to see it and click on it because they're just a casual, maybe not even a casual boxing fan. It's on. They've seen it on social media. Maybe somebody's at their boyfriend's house and their friends want to watch, so they're just watching it, right? So it just opens the door for more people to see it, which is going to mess up the viewing experience for everyone else who's actually interested in it. It happened during the Tyson Jake Paul fight.
Yeah.
That same thing where there was just so many people logged on to see it that it messed up the feed.
Yeah, it was all choppy.
Yeah. Didn't that happen during the Super Bowl on YouTube TV? Because he came over to watch it, right?
Feed, yeah.
Yeah.
It was like that.
But anyhow, I'm just wondering when this whole subscription based model is going to crash, because at some point, I mean, who's going to want to pay for so many prescriptions that's like $15-$20 a month, right?
I miss a day back in the day when it was just like Channel 12 and it showed everything? NBA Finals and then like Super Bowl and everything else, you know?
Yeah, I remember back then it was like, because I used to follow the Suns, and the Suns were on UPN, and then they always had it like on NBC or ABC, right?
Yeah.
And then somehow during the last 20 years, it ended up like on TNT.
TBS or something.
Now it's at the point where you have to have cable to see these basketball games.
Yeah, they did away with TNT now too. Like some of them, like Charles Barkley and those guys, they don't have their show no more either.
Really? But I know I was sort of worried that, because I got an email from YouTube TV saying that they're in a contract dispute with Fox, so they might not have Fox by the end of yesterday. Obviously, it's still on, so I guess they worked out some kind of a temporary extension. But the Ohio State Texas game is going to be shown on Fox on Saturday. So I was worried that they weren't going to work this out, and then Fox was just going to be off of YouTube TV after that. And I mean, when you really think about it, I mean, who cares to watch Fox News? If you're younger than 55 or younger than 60 years old, no, you're not watching Fox News.
No.
So I don't really see how Fox has any kind of weight to throw around to try to, bully these subscription based platforms to.
It's all the conservatives, man. All the conservatives.
Whereas, like, I guess the only thing that Fox has is the NFL and college football, really, right? So I guess that's the only reason why people would even consider watching Fox. What I do miss about Fox is, like, remember every Sunday they had The Simpsons, new episode of The Simpsons, new episode of
King of the Hill.
King of the Hill, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. King of the Hill. I remember watching the pilot episode of Malcolm in the Middle when it first came out. Man, it's a long time ago. But anyways, yeah, I miss those things. X-Files when it was on Fox. It just seemed like, because it seemed like back then you had to be a little bit more creative with your television back then. But now it's sort of evolved into, Netflix and HBO creating their own television series now, and it's I don't know. I just stopped. The only thing I watch now is just football, really.
Yeah, I remember friends that had like satellite TV, and they had the whole disc that would have to turn around at certain angles, whatever, to catch certain stations and all that, like East and West and all that. And yeah, it was fun. Like you would go to their house to watch shows like that, like Simpsons and all that. They were recorded and stuff. They recorded for you and all those things, and it was fun back. It was back in the day, like yeah. Well, yeah, on the White Cone, you're lucky if you had a friend that had satellite TV, because most times we didn't until like later on. But yeah,
my grandpa always had television. My mom was telling me that too. Even back in the 80s, he bought one of those big
yeah,
dishes.
that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, with the remote that could turn and all that. Yeah,
and I remember when I first seen a satellite television, he bought Prime. Remember Prime Star?
Yeah, I remember Prime Star. Yep.
He had the Prime Star on there.
We had Prime Star, yeah.
And I remember hating it because when you go to the menu, remember the menu was a scrolling menu?
Yep.
So you had to sit there and wait for your channel just to see what was coming up. And if you missed it, then you had to wait for it to come back all the way around again.
Yep. Yep.
And then
those were the old days.
and then DirecTV bought them out, and then they became DirecTV.
It's like Dish. They had like
Dish Network.
Too, yeah.
Dish Network was another one.
I remember way back when my uncles had like an antenna, and then if you wanted to catch the channels like in Albuquerque, you had to turn it a certain way. So I remember as a kid going outside and then like using like a wrench or whatever to turn the pipe, and then you could catch like either the Flagstaff channels or the Albuquerque channels. That's how it was way back.
Yeah. I guess I would be considered, I guess a middle millennial, because you would be considered an older millennial, right? I guess if you were born in like 1980 all the way to the year 2000, right? That's like the millennial generation, and I was born in 89, so I would be like in the middle, a middle millennial, right? So I guess what I'm getting at is sometimes I joke around, like with my fiance, she'll say something about, I don't know, choices for food. Like if we're going somewhere like a cookout or something, and she's like, well, why don't we bring this and bring that or whatever? And I'm like, let's just bring this one thing. And she's like, why? And I said, it's because they don't have a choice. We're bringing it. So it goes back to that generation where, like for television, for example, you didn't have a choice. It was just whatever was on was on.
Yep, that's what you watch. Yep. Yep.
So
different times, man.
Yeah. What are you looking for? You gonna watch a little bit of football this year?
Yeah.
Do you watch a lot? Do you watch a lot of football?
I try to, but it's really hard to do with the lifestyle I have. But I plan on participating to some fantasy. So that's kind of like my interest in how I kind of get more into football, I guess. So yeah, we do fantasy at work, and I get invited to some other fantasy leagues too. So I like that.
Yeah. I guess other than high school basketball, the only sport I like to watch is football. And I guess more so professional football. But lately, the last couple of years, I've really gotten back into college football. Mostly because I do a lot of sports. I do a lot of sports betting, right? And most of my betting, just like I guess the number one bet sport in this country is football, college football, and professional football. But the hardest sport to consistently bet and win at is NFL, is professional football. And the reason for it is there are only 32 teams in the NFL, right? And since it's the most heavily betted game throughout the year, these games are closely looked at by all the different bookies, whether it's Caesars Sportsbook, DraftKings, all that. These games are like, they analyze these things to the T. And if you look at the betting lines prior to the game starting and you watch the actual game, for the most part, they get that spread pretty good. Like it's right within what they think what they say it's going to be. Sometimes it'll be way off. Like, someone wins by, say they're the 3-point favorite and they win by, I don't know, they lose by 1 point or something, or a person's a 3-point underdog and they lose by 10 or 12 points, something like that. Sometimes it's off like that. But for the most part, they're always usually pretty close to what they think the spread is going to be, what that line is. And it's just it's really crazy to see how accurate they are.
You got tools like AI now too that can predict a lot of these things down too. It's crazy. Yeah.
So yeah, professional football is, and people have been telling me that for years too. That professional football is just really hard to beat. College football is, I guess it's kind of the same in a sense that the big time schools are followed pretty closely, like the SEC schools, the Big 12, the Big 10. Nobody really follows the Mountain West. It's highly scrutinized too, but it's just the thing about college football is that it's kind of like high school in that you're only limited to the players that you can convince to come to your school.
Yeah.
Right. And because of the NIL changing, big schools can afford to have these big time recruits come there now because more money, more exposure, and it allows them to build their brand now. It's all about branding. And for any of the really talented high school players out there, they should consider, forming their career around branding, just in case they do go to the NFL. Maybe they can have some kind of brand built, or did I say NFL? I mean college. They can have some kind of brand built around them, right? And that's definitely, I've noticed that's definitely changed the landscape of high school sports. I want to say I saw a couple of newsreels, like on YouTube, about high school students creating their own brand while they're in high school, so that when they move on to the next level, they already have some kind of social media presence. They already have something to market themselves with, and just to boost their profitability when they move on to the next level. And I think that's smart.
Yeah.
In this digital age, it's definitely smart to do something like that.
Yep. Yeah, you get like even just this year, like or recent years, like you see like teams coming up with their own brands and all that, and their own clothing wear and all that. It's cool to see. And like you said, there's people out there in college that are doing those things. They're tapping into those venues and all that, and it's good to see.
Yeah. Anyhow, college football again. Like I said, it's really unfair. I guess that's why I like professional football so much. Is professional football, they have the salary cap. Usually, the teams that do the worst get to pick first in the draft. So not only do you have the strategy, on the field, but then you have the strategy that's going on behind the scenes with the managers and
all the corporate,
trying to
corporate decisions and
work around their budget, work around these contracts, and trying to create a way to have their team be competitive, because it just boggles my mind. Like, we were watching the Cardinals versus Chiefs, right? And Jacoby Brissett came out with the second team offense, and I like Jacoby Brissett a lot. I seen him for the first time when he played, because he was the Patriots backup last year, and the Patriots quarterback, he had gotten injured. I can't remember who they were playing, the Panthers maybe. I can't remember who it was, but I was upset because I was betting on the Patriots to win that game, and then their starting quarterback got injured. And I was and they were winning at the time, and I thought Jacoby Brissett was going to blow it, right? But he came out and played really well, like a backup should. Someone that's just, like, backup in the NFL is like someone who will come in and can finish out a game for you and keep you in a position to win, right? But they're not really seen as a long-term solution because they're the backup for the reason. I don't really get how these guys are professional athletes. Jacoby Brissett's been playing football his whole entire life. But yet, for some reason, he's just incapable of leading an offense at a high level for a long period of time. A couple quarters, maybe one game, he might be able to do it. But for some reason, I just don't get why these professionals just can't handle it.
I don't get it either, man.
You would think you're a professional. You would think that everybody would be playing like at an elite level like Tom Brady, but maybe it just goes back to the fact that there are levels everywhere. Even at the professional level, there's different levels too, right? And to play at the elite level, it's so hard, right? Anyhow, so I'm excited this weekend. There's some good college games, like like I said, Texas, Ohio State. The surprising is Texas is ranked number 1, but they're the underdog against Ohio State.
Really?
And I had asked Grok. Grok is the ex-AI. I had asked them, or it, I guess. I asked it why Texas was the underdog, even though they were ranked number 1. And they gave 2 reasons. The first reason was it's away at Ohio State. And the second reason was the lack of experience that Arch Manning has.
Oh, really?
I think he only played 2 games last year as a backup. I mean, the guy couldn't even beat out Quinn Ewers. And Quinn Ewers, I don't know if Quinn Ewers made. someone can fact check me on that. I'm not sure if he made a team or not. I know he got drafted, but Quinn Ewers is just he's. I guess I call it the Alabama anomaly. When you're playing on a stacked team where your whole entire line is like an NFL caliber line, and your receivers are like NFL quality, and you're playing against other schools that are just an average college team, you're gonna run over them, and you're gonna be used to playing like that. Mm-hmm. But when you get to the NFL, everybody at every position is extremely good, right? So I guess when you have that expectation of comfort like that, and you go to the next level to the NFL, and it's just a lot more faster, and everyone's stronger, and everyone's smarter. It's just, I guess maybe that's why it makes it difficult too. But anyways, I don't know where I was going with that. But anyhow, Ohio State. Oh yeah, Arch Manning too, right? I heard an interesting criticism about Arch Manning. There's so much hype around Arch Manning, but yet, I guess the only reason why there's hype around him is because his last name. He's a Manning. His dad is the oldest brother of the Mannings. His dad was supposed to play at Ole Miss, but he had some kind of condition, I think, with his neck.
Oh, really?
It was an undiagnosed one, and I guess he kept getting like headaches or something. Something was wrong with him in high school, and they found out that he had some kind of like weakness in his neck or something like that. And if he got the right hit, that it would snap his neck. So he retired, right? Or he didn't even go to college. He just stopped playing, right? So, but anyhow, he's just, and I guess he didn't go to a high school that was like an elite high school. So, or an elite division. So people just don't really understand why he's touted as the next big thing when he doesn't even come from the same pedigree, I guess. I mean, I guess if your dad was Eli Manning or Peyton Manning, then I can understand the hype. But being with the older brother is just confusing everybody.
Nephew.
There's just a couple other ones I want to point out too this coming weekend. LSU Clemson, that one's on Saturday. That's supposed to be a good one. Let me see. Arizona State versus Northern Arizona.
Where does that played at?
It's always played.
ASU.
NAU always travels because they switch back and forth between U of A and ASU. I don't know.
Who's your team
for college?
For college.
Now that the Pac-12 is dissolved, and now that it's dissolved, I have two teams. My first team, and this will always be my team, no matter what, is University of Arizona Wildcats.
Yeah.
Because I went to U of A as well. I was there when Nick Foles was the quarterback. I got to see him play his last 2 years there, and I was the only one that was convinced that he was going to be a star, and he ended up winning the Super Bowl with the Eagles. And the other team is USC.
USC.
Yeah, they're in the Big Ten now. I loved USC when I first saw them back in 2003, when they won the Orange Bowl. They beat Oklahoma in the Orange Bowl. That was when they had Matt Leinart, Reggie Bush, Dwayne Jarrett. They had Ray Maluga on the team. They had Lindell White, Clay Matthews. I think Clay Matthews was on that team too. Just a stacked team. I think Taylor Mays was later on. But anyways, just a stacked team, and I remember following them the second year when they won the national championship, and then they were going for the three-peat. I followed that year close. I watched every single USC game that year because at that time I was rooting against them. Mm-hmm. And it was weird. I was rooting against them all year, and then when it came to the national championship, I wanted them to beat Texas. And they ended up losing to Texas at the very end. But so ever since then, USC's always been my second favorite team. But now they're in the Big Ten, I'm okay with mine in Jersey now.
What's that guy's name? That running back for U of A this past year. Where did he go?
For U of A,
Yeah.
running back.
What's his name? He had a key name. No, it was ASU. I'm sorry, it was ASU.
Oh, you're talking about.
ASU.
I'll say I don't know who the running back for U of A is.
Yeah.
They did horrible last year, and I really didn't pay too much attention to U of A. But for ASU, you're talking about Cam Scadaboo.
Yeah, Scadaboo. Yep.
Yeah, he got drafted to the Commanders. I have to look it up. I wasn't sure. I think they were unsure if he was going to make the team or not. I thought he had been great for the Cardinals to pick up because the thing about his position, the fullback position, is you have to be able to block, especially in the pro level. You know, being a running back that can block is like gold, finding gold. You know, not only can you block, but you got to be able to catch. And Cam Scadaboo is one of those individuals that can do that. I think his only criticism.
And he could throw too, huh?
Yeah,
yeah.
I think his only criticism was he wasn't the fastest. I think he ran like a 4.5 at the combine, which is, I mean, it's way faster than me. But but for him, I would see him as maybe like a short yardage person, or I guess it'd be mostly for pass protection plays, play action pass, and having the ability to send him out to catch some passes as well. So I have to look it up and see where he ended up. I've mostly just been focusing on just the Cardinals.
Okay.
But I should be paying attention to everybody, but there's just so much going on, and it's just, unless I quit and just did this full time, maybe I'd know a lot more. But
yeah,
or maybe I just have a bad memory. There are some people that just remember all
we
this
got
stuff.
regular jobs, man.
But anyways, yeah, I think ASU is projected to win the Big 12 this year again.
Really?
I think they could do it. I mean, if we really think about it, in the Big 12, there isn't really anybody good this year. I mean, Iowa beat Kansas State this past weekend, but Iowa is definitely vulnerable. BYU, I think their quarterback transferred or something like that, so BYU is going to be down in the dumps, I think. I mean, they'll probably finish in the middle of the pack. Utah, they'll probably finish at the bottom again. I think Arizona, unless they find some kind of inspiration, you know, they might be trying to stay out of last place. We'll have to see, though.
Yeah.
As far as the Big Ten goes, I think USC is going to be okay. They're not going to be great, but they're not going to be. I don't expect them to be in the college football playoff or anything. But regardless, I'll still watch them whenever they play. But like this weekend, for example, I think I'm betting like 15 to 20 games, $11 to $12 each. So what is that? Like 10 times 12 is $120. So I'm probably betting about close to $200 this weekend.
Wow.
On these
college,
games.
Just on college
Just
games.
on college football, right? Yeah. So like today I bet on the what was it? The game that just finished, Ohio, Miami, and Wisconsin. I don't know who finished, how that ended, but I'll have to look. The other one being Boise State versus USF. I bet USF to take the spread on that and to beat Boise State, and they did beat them by like 20 points, something like that. Tomorrow I got 3 games tomorrow evening, and then this weekend on Saturday I think I have like 8 games, and then Sunday I have like another 6 games, something like that I'm gonna be watching. So YouTube, what's nice about YouTube TV is you can do the 4,
Watch all at the same time.
watch up to 4 games at the same time. So it's nice to put 4 of them. Well, okay, let me take a step back. So I was at my parents' house, and we were sitting there, and I was saying, man, I can't wait for football to start, because it's nice to wake up like on a Saturday, not too early, but not too late, right? Maybe like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. You make your coffee, you turn the TV on, and you turn on the first college football game that comes on like at 9 o'clock. And it's nice too when like the air is like the fall air, and it's nice and crisp outside, and you got your coffee, and you're just sitting there and you're watching football. And then all of a sudden it's lunchtime, so you get ready and you go get something to eat. Then you come back and there's another game on. It's just a nice relaxing day, right? And then you do it all over again the next day with professional football. So, I follow the strategy, the recommendations. Like Billy Walters says to never bet more than 2%, never bet more than 3% of your bankroll on a single game. But I typically do 1 to 2. So I think this year, my bankroll for just betting is $1,200. So what is it? 1% I think is $12. So I'm usually betting about $10 to $12 per game on all of those.
I see.
So,
Interesting.
it makes the game a lot more fun to
fun
to watch too.
It's like fantasy.
Can be frustrating as well.
Yeah.
Like I tried doing baseball this year, and I couldn't do baseball. I went on a losing streak for like 4 days in a row, and I was just like, man, I suck at this. So I just stopped doing baseball.
Yeah. Speaking of football, high school football. Holbrook has a game this week against
St. John's?
St. John's.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, tomorrow night, home game.
Yeah, I think St. John's probably win by. I'd put the spread at maybe 20, 21.
20.
Yeah.
I think Holbrook's better this year. They beat Winslow last week, and they did. I heard their quarterback's injured right now though. Like Holbrook's quarterback, their starting quarterback. So
Okay.
maybe a factor. So yeah, I think it's be a little closer game than usual against St. John's tomorrow night.
I want to go just to go. I mean, there's nothing going on in Holbrook, so and for some reason I really like hot dogs. Like the hot dogs that Holbrook serves at the football games and at the basketball games. I know the students hate it because they would all run to Safeway at lunchtime when they served the hot dogs. But I always I don't know what brand the hot dogs are, wherever they get them from, but
It's good.
yeah.
I've never had it. I don't think. Yeah, I probably might check it out tomorrow night too. Need something to do and watch some of the kids and all that. So
Yeah, we'll see. My
support 'em.
dad's going back to work. Not work. He's going back to teaching after next week. So I'm not sure if we'll have time to make it after that because we get off of work and then we drive over there. We have to fill up the water, get hay, and then we drive out there. And it seems like by the time we get done, it's 8:00 at night.
That's a lot of work, man.
Yeah, it's going back and forth.
How far out of town is that?
Not too far. Maybe 8 miles, something like that. You can see the res line from
Oh, really?
yeah. I mean, I guess maybe it's 15 miles from.
Take that Porter Road.
Yeah.
Or the
Yeah.
landfill, past the landfill.
Yeah. It's about 4 or 5 miles past the landfill.
We
On the main road.
We got a pipeline just right there too.
Yeah. Yeah. I see that out there. Which reminds me. So we were out there, about a month ago, on a Sunday. And we drive out there. Jimmy and I drive out every day, every evening. So due to that consistency, if you see something unusual, right? Well, we were driving out there on a Sunday around about, I don't know, maybe 4:00, 5:00, something like that. And all of a sudden we see this animal up there. And our initial thought was it was an antelope. But we get closer to it and here it's a dog. It's a dog. We find out the dog's a Belgian Malinois, and it was just out there and it saw us. I saw our vehicle, a truck, and everything, and I just drove right past it and just kept going. And it ran after us, right? And eventually it got tired and it stopped. And I thought, oh, okay, well, it's just gonna run off somewhere. So we're emptying the water into the trough and everything for the dog, or not dog, the cows. All of a sudden, that dog comes wandering over, and it's a big dog. It's not a little dog. It's a tall dog, right? Very athletic. And all of a sudden, the calves are looking at it. I think they thought it was a coyote or something. And it was just really thirsty. It was really friendly. At first, I kind of was worried that it might be an aggressive dog or something. Maybe it was. I don't know how it got out there, but we ended up picking it up. Taking it back to my parents' house. We put a post on Facebook, and just asking people in Joe City, like on the Joe City, like whatever Facebook marketplace type of page they have, and people were just commenting, asking if it was this person, like tagging people they know that might have a dog like that in Joe City, and everyone was saying no, like they're whatever dog they have. Mm-hmm. And then I want to say a few days later, someone posted on that same post saying that they had recalled seeing a post earlier in the year, some family in Joseph City saying that they were trying to rehome a Belgian Malinois, a female Belgian Malinois, because they're moving, so they wanted to find a home. And we kind of put two and two together, and we realized that someone just abandoned this dog. Wow. Like they drove out there, just said,
dropped it off.
Yeah, like they said, you're free now. You can go. Just let them out and
go to the race.
Yeah. And it must have not been too long. I'm not sure how long that dog stayed out there.
Wow, dang.
Because we were there the day before, that evening before. We didn't see it. Yeah. And then we got there, the next evening, and all of a sudden we found it. It found us, right?
So your parents have a new Belgian, whatever you call it.
Malinois, yeah. Yeah, I named it Gigi.
Gigi.
Yeah, like Gigi Hadid. She's a really nice dog. Very athletic, and just loves to run around and everything.
Wow.
Yeah.
She's a ranch dog now, huh?
Yeah. Helps with the cows. Yeah.
That's cool.
So anyways, I guess we can just finish up with a couple more things, and we'll call it a night. So I just wanted to update everybody. Basketball season's coming up in a couple about 3 months, something like that, November. So here at Sports on I-40, we're planning on kind of doing some things a little bit differently. I'm still working on the preseason rankings. I have basically a rough draft of the preseason rankings right now. I'm just kind of refining it and trying to put it. I think I finished the girls. For sure, I finished the girls side. Now I got to work on the boys side preseason rankings. And my original thought was maybe trying to put out some kind of digital magazine, something like that, where we show the rankings, go through it school by school, and just kind of doing projections. And some of my initial thoughts on this data analysis is that if you look at a lot of these teams, like let's take, for example, the Chinle Wildcats, right? They had a bunch of seniors on their team, right? And each of those is seniors, like DeJohn White and what was her name? Koa, right? They contributed, I don't remember off the top of my head, but they contributed a certain number of points throughout the whole entire season, right? So if you look at it in terms of points, in order for Chinle to sort of maintain a similar success, they need to have either one player or several players step up and try to match the same amount of points that they had lost with DeJohn and Koa graduating, right?
That's probably like 50% of the points too, right? Maybe more than that. Yeah,
so if you look at it like that, you can sort of kind of gauge your idea of how impacted some of these teams are and how important it is for underclassmen to step up and try to fill those roles. So if you're lucky, you'll have one player that can step in that role and make up for those points, those deficiencies. But if you're not, then you're going to need several players to come in and be able to make up those differences.
Yeah.
And we're only talking offense. If you took it to the defensive side, like how many steals they had, I guess the only thing I think it was steals, right? The amount of steals, rebounding. Yeah, rebounding is another one, right? That's another thing that has to be made up. Yeah. And so that's just Chinle, but there's a lot of schools like Holbrook's another one too, right? They lost Dea Guerrero, Elena. Why are those the only
main two for the seniors? Yeah, sounds about right.
So again, they also have a deficit that they have to make up, right? But look at Sholo. I think they only lost their main player this year to graduation. I can't remember her name. Raquel Wilson.
Wilson.
Right. So it wouldn't surprise me if Sholo can sort of maintain their, I don't want to say dominance, but their expectation to win next year, simply because they have less points to make up, I guess, because it's one person. But she made a lot of points, so maybe that's a difference too, right?
Yep.
So I just want to let people to just, for the people out there, when you think about these games, that's one thing you need to consider when it comes to performance of these teams is how is someone leaving going to impact the amount of points you're going to score, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously there are other variables too, but those are just the basic things we can look at, and that'll kind of give us a gauge of what the expected performance is going to be for this coming season, or what needs to happen.
Yeah.
And then there's the other stuff too, like the glaring things that really held teams back. For example, Holbrook, the girls, they were really bad at turnovers. They were really bad at making bad decisions. And I guess one person that I always think about when I think of those turnovers is Channing Harrington. There were times where she would just get too into the game and just start making wild passes or just doing plays that just didn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of turnovers, and those, I think those things really contributed to some of those losses. So if you look at someone like Channing Harrington, if you can work in the off season and sort of develop some kind of player maturity, and you start to iron out all of these these mistakes that you used to make, that'll certainly make a big difference.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So those are the little things that I think people kind of fail to see or look at when it comes to looking at their team.
Yeah.
So do you have any thoughts on that?
I think for the girls this year is going to be interesting. I've heard of some transfers between Chinley and Tuba and Page.
Mm-hmm.
My prediction was that Tuba would be really good this year, but with losing one of their good players, I don't know how that's going to change things, but that's what I heard. Just seeing girls play in the off season, all that summer ball and all that. Yeah, that's kind of how I gauge it. I gauge mine off like summer basketball, and who was playing and all that too. So, yeah, I see Tuba doing pretty good this year, though.
Okay, but so as we end this, I just want to leave everybody with this final thought. I think Snowflake girls are gonna, if you were to put the North and the East teams into one conference, I think Snowflake is going to be the best team this coming season for girls. I think they're going to dominate the North and they're going to dominate the East. And I also think Holbrook is going to do worse than they did this year. And Winslow's going to improve and be higher.
I kind of see Holbrook as like a top 3 maybe, possibly top 3 team.
If you look at it just the East by itself, then yeah, I could see Holbrook being a top 3. But it's really going to be Snowflake winning the East, followed by Sholo, and then depending on who, I think I had maybe Holbrook at that, or no, it was Winslow and then Holbrook and then Altusay, then Blue Ridge. I had Blue Ridge finishing last.
Mm-hmm. I see Holbrook over Winslow, I think. That's what I think.
Yeah. And then I think for the North, I think it was Tuba City maybe being the favorite. I'd have to look, but I should know this by heart by now, because I've been working on this for weeks. But anyways, that's just kind of like a preview of these coming seasons. And it's still not worked out. I mean, there could be some things that are changing, but those are just kind of the initial things, running through the statistics and just kind of gauging, what based on player performance, season points and stuff that are currently available online, right? Those are sort of the projections that we're making. And we're going to come out with the final preseason rankings prior to the season starting in November. And we're also planning to have some kind of kickoff show for the season as well. So, please be on the lookout for that in November. So anyways, so that's just kind of like a final thought, Anyways, Mac, do you have anything else to say right now?
The person I was thinking about way back in the earlier beginning show was John Wall, man.
Mm-hmm.
John Wall. He's 6'4", 6'3". Some people say 6'3", but he was a dominant player at his height.
Uh-huh.
Like we're talking about height in the beginning with the boys and all that. So he's one of the kind of shorter players, but like you said, like dominant wise, like this nowadays, like you got centers playing as guards now and all that. So yeah,
John Wall.
John Wall.
I only know a Paul Wall.
The rapper.
Yeah, the rapper.
The white rapper, John. Paul Wall. Yeah, John Wall. John Wall is a good player, man. He retired last week, I think. Yeah, announced retirement.
Okay.
He was good.
Okay.
He was good.
All right. Well, we also hopefully will have another guest on pretty soon.
Yep.
And we hope that once we do, we'll upload that up as quickly as we can. I apologize out there to Coach Rose and Coach Rice, as well as my cousin Terralina. I kind of waited. It took me a while to upload those episodes to YouTube. Just had a lot going on work wise, and plus working with cattle too. So it just kind of taken, because when I edit these videos, I literally I basically watching the whole entire podcast all over again and changing the camera angles, switching back and forth. So it takes a long time to go through and edit these videos to make them look nice.
Yep.
So anyways, yeah, I apologize, but they are out, and hopefully you guys can go out there and take a look at those, and you'll get to know some of our neighbors out here, especially in the 1As as well. I know Joe City, they do a lot to for their program and for their community, just like everybody else too.
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, all right. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in, and have a good morning, evening, night.
Thank you.